Jim, with Wilton, when do you think you'll have to know to make a decision on him, and how is it kind of a game time decision with him at this point?
Could be.
And it's his
As I
shoulder.
say, when we'll know is based on what the doctors say and how Wilton's feeling, what he's able to do during the week in terms of practice, etc.
And it's your shoulder, is that right?
As I said, we'll make that determination with the doctors and Wilton.
Just one.
Handle that ball, John.
One fact, do you at least know if there's anything structural done, or is it just a soreness thing? Have you been able to determine that yet on Wilton?
As always, per our principle, we don't go into the specifics.
If need be, John O'Gordon, have you seen enough of him through the practice to be confident in him?
Yes. John, Shane, especially we anticipate today, the next couple of days, at least that they'll get the majority of the reps and a good practice for them. But they've both had extensive practice time through the course of the year, and yes, we are confident they will do a good job.
Coach, nobody likes to lose, but can it sometimes help refocus a group knowing that you guys still control your own destiny and get you back and maybe see a reinfused or reignited focus going into this week?
But I really thought our focus last week and every week going into every game has been a positive. And you're right, I know for sure, to speak for ourselves, we don't like to lose either.
Down in front here, John.
Coach, what's your understanding of when you can hit a punter that's rolling out?
When he's outside of taking enough steps to be outside of the tackle box, my understanding.
Did you think that play should have?
I thought
not
he was
been
clearly
called?
outside of the tackle box, yeah.
When you lose a game, it's just the first loss of the year, but when you lose a game, how do you balance? Do you look at things, changes personnel-wise, or do you view it as one tight loss and not overreact, but you don't want to underreact either? How do you deal with
it? Come back Monday, with the enthusiasm and make darn sure that doesn't happen. Got a really good ball club coming in Indiana. It's a big game. That's how we look at it. We got to get prepared so we can play our best this Saturday. That's the mindset.
Just to follow up to that, the fact that everything is still out there, the Big Ten title, everything else, does that certainly help to keep your players engaged?
Yeah, I mean the engagement of the players has been a real positive, week in and week out. No question about it. The way they prepare, the way they practice, the way they play on Saturday. Habit of winning. And now our goal is the same, which is win the next game.
The middle, Coach Adam.
Jim, Chris Evans has gotten off to a pretty quick start, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head, maybe best freshman start since Chris Perry. And just what have you seen from Chris through the 10 weeks? And is there anything, like, I guess when you're giving him instruction, is there anything where you feel like he is just maybe a little bit beyond a freshman as far as comprehension goes?
Yeah, I would say that. Than the average freshman football player, yes. He's got real knack, instincts, very good learner. Makes that a priority. That's a real positive with him. It's been plus with Chris.
Right in the front, John.
What's Kevin Wilson been doing with Indiana in the time that you've watched them to be effective?
Well, really coaching a good football team, doing a very good job. The defense is an aggressive, athletic, fast, they create turnovers, they tackle extremely well, they cover a lot of the field physically. Really good defensive linemen, active, athletic backers that do a lot of the, cause a lot of the havoc, and very good players in the secondary. And they do a good job defensively with the scheme. They are teaching a high volume of scheme to the defense. Man, blitz, zone blitz, different variations in the two deep coverages as well as the single high coverages, twists, multiple zone and blitz patterns. Just really, where they're getting a lot done on defense. Offensively, they very effective. Put a lot of points on the board, and they do a heck of a job.
In front right, Mark.
How much did you guys have to adapt not having Devin in there for most of the game? And the linebackers seemed like they were having some challenges. Would he have been in a rotation there?
Yeah, and especially he plays a high volume of plays on special teams, and he's the third linebacker.
So, I mean, what were the compensations that you guys had to make in terms of that? I mean, were there guys who normally just fill that role? Because you didn't rotate a lot of linebacker.
No, yeah, with less rotation at linebacker, and we had to replace him on all the special team units.
Not just one person who replaces him, it's different guys on all the different special teams.
Yeah. For the most part, yes, multiple guys.
Yeah, Coach, stopping the run was a little bit of a problem. Are you concerned about the D-line, or it's been a strength
Yeah.
all year?
I think it continues to be. You got to win 2 out of the 3 phases in a football game to win a football game. I thought our defense won that phase. Offensively, special teams, we did not feel like we won those 2 phases. And what usually happens in a ball game, you don't win the game. But I thought the defense played winning football and really gave us a chance to win the game. And our defensive line continues to be a strength.
And just one follow-up. Do you think you used Jabril enough or too much, or how do you feel about his participation on
In the pass
Saturday?
game? Offensively, yeah, we tried several ways to crack open the defense, to make plays, to get first downs, to score points, and I think our longest game was maybe 12 yards in the running game. Jabril had a couple real nice plays in there, but as a team, we weren't able to manufacture enough yards in offense. Looking back, I don't have an opinion whether we used them too much or not enough. To answer your question.
In the middle and right, Dan.
If you do end up needing to go with John or Shane, how much does it help that they've been able to get in regularly this year to not have any rust build up? And does the offense change at all with either of those guys as opposed to Wilton?
I think it's a positive. That, they've gotten game action.
And I want to ask you too about Rashan Gary. It seems like he's quietly helped a lot, but maybe not in the big explosive impact plays that people might expect. How has he grown, I guess, and how much has he helped? And also, how much has Chris Wormley been a impact on him and helping him get settled in this year?
But yeah, I'd say, like Adam asked about Chris Evans, and I think Rashan has been a big impact as a freshman, ahead of average normal production. He has been in on big plays. He contributes to a unit that's one of our real strengths on the ball club. Chris Wormley's been outstanding. Good teammate as you could be in terms of helping, leading the entire team and also leading young players.
Has his relationship with Rashan especially been close or a mentor type thing this year?
Yes, from my perspective, it has. And you know, Chris is a solid guy to everybody. I mean, from my perspective, I don't see him just singling the guy out. You know, he got strong friendships and bonds with just about everybody on the team, from what I can observe.
In the front there, Nick.
Jim, with the last field goal they kicked, I think you guys had 10 on the field.
Yeah.
What you guys heard? What went wrong there? Was that just the wires crossed? What happened?
Yeah, we started with 12 in the huddle, and we were having DeMonte Thomas come out, and I believe it was Tyree Cannell. DeMonte came out, and Tyree thought he was supposed to come out as well, but that's what happened.
And then my other question was, on the last drive, the field goal drive, I think you guys called timeout right before they made a play. What was the reasoning to call timeout there as opposed to maybe holding it? Just wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah, was hoping to get into, I had 2 timeouts left, and was going to use them after second and third down to get the ball back with about 35 seconds to go in the game after the field goal attempt. But when they ran the quarterback draw, made the first down on third down, knew that wasn't going to be an option anymore. That was the intent. We're trying to get the ball back for last drive.
Coach, over here on the left, Larry.
For the seniors, it'll be their last home game. Can you just reflect on what this class has meant to you in this program and what that's like playing your last game at Michigan Stadium?
Yeah, it's different. Remember it pretty well. But this class has meant so much to me personally, to Michigan football, to all of us. I look at these guys. I mean, the direction of the program was going a certain way, almost like a locomotive. And these upperclassmen, these seniors, and the guys last year played as well. I mean, it meant a lot to get it stopped. To get the momentum stopped, like stopping a freight train. But I credit them for not only getting it stopped, but even harder, getting it turned on the tracks and headed the other direction.
We're going to go with a couple more questions. Start in the middle there, Adam.
Going back to what you were saying about Indiana's defense, would you say they have more variations on their 2 deep and single high coverages than what you saw from their defense last year?
Oh, from last year? Yes. Yes, I think so. It's a lot. This is as much as you're going to see in college football.
Come up here to Wojo. All right.
Jim, when you haven't lost all year and then you lose a tight game like this, do you have to do any uplifting of your team, rebuilding, and let them know it's not over, not that bad? Does any of that have to go on at this stage?
You have to soldier up. That's what's taking place. Prepare for the championship game. Prepare for a big ball game.
Over on the far right, Ryan.
Hey, Coach, going back to being the last home game, can you reflect on your senior class and what they have done for this program? I know they've got some more games, but this is their final home game. What they've done in your program, turning things around, and just everything in the last 2 years, in the culmination you're playing the last game at home.
Yeah, as I said earlier, that's the thing that stands out in my mind the most, and I give great share of the credit to the guys that are playing in their the senior class and the 5th year class, and guys that were in the program last year that were playing as the greatest share of stopping the momentum, turning it in a different direction. It's very hard to do, and they deserve a lot of credit for that.
All right, last question in the front there, Mark.
How much discussion do you have with the players or the team as a whole about the rankings and kind of your scenarios in terms of the Big Ten and the wider view after the loss?
The same. I mean, it takes very little time to see. You know what they are, and onward
you know there, but do you tell them? And
I think they know. I think if you probably asked them, most of them would know. You know, it's pretty accessible. So not, to answer your question, not a deep,
Nothing different.
long conversation necessary now.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.